if you're an active teacher looking forward to finding out more about teaching methodologies and all that kind of stuff related to the classroom, teacher, students, activities, ideas, everything related to this area, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn the notification bell on so you don't miss out any of my future videos. Now, let's look at the formal assessment into the classroom, shall we? First off, I have a video about informal assessment, which is totally different from the formal assessment. Anyway, I leave the link over here so you can check it out after today's video. Well, without further ado, formal assessment is a class test. But testing your students or assessing your students formally at the beginning of the course is a lot different from assessing them at the end. And it's also different from assessing them in the middle of the course, i.e., you know, in language schools, the new students are given a test to know about the level, to decide what level they should be at. That's called a placement test. By the way, the placement test has no impact on the students' learning during the course. I have a real example for you. 3 months ago, I went to a school to enroll my daughter in. They asked me to bring her on a particular day for a simple test to know about her level and if she can get a place in or no. As I said, it has no impact on the students' learning, but it's considered as one type of formal assessment. Well, let's move on to another type of formal assessment. And by the way, we're still at the beginning of the course. To give our students another test to find out what they know, what they don't know. Why? To know what to teach, how to teach, and what you need to focus on more, and to know which students need help in which areas of the syllabus. Practically, and unfortunately, diagnostic assessment is not one of the areas of focus in so many schools. They think it's time-consuming, and teachers already do their planning according to the course book and the available resources, apart from what students know and don't know and what to teach and how to teach, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, diagnostic assessment is not necessarily a test. It could be a survey. It could be a questionnaire. Anything just to do the purpose of diagnostic assessment. Something else about diagnostic assessment. It can be done at the beginning of a unit or a topic or even a particular area. Like, for example, writing an essay or writing an email. I could give my students a letter to complete to know what students know about the whole thing, which students need more help, more guidance, how to instruct into the classroom, what I need to focus on more to master this area. I'm so certain if diagnostic assessment can be carried out effectively, the teacher and students will benefit a lot from its pros. Like, number one, diagnostic assessment reduces students' confusion. Avoid this moment when students feel like they have no idea about what you're saying, or they can't catch up with what you're saying. Something else, it helps you too to have an authentic lesson plan because you know the strengths and weaknesses of students in this particular area or in this lesson. And when you possibly know everything in advance, that will help you to introduce or to instruct effectively into the classroom. You're going to be able to choose or to decide the best methodologies to achieve the learning outcomes. I think diagnostic assessment can help us to anticipate the whole learning process as possible as we can. Now let's move on from the beginning of the course to go to the middle of the course. Your students have completed a part of the course and you want to find out how well they've learned it. So you're going to give them a progress test, or it's also called an achievement test, to track your students' achievement or to track your students' progress throughout the course. What's more about the progress test is the progress test is graded. So students receive a grade or a mark, and they receive feedback on the strengths and weaknesses and how to improve their learning and how to avoid these mistakes and all that kind of stuff. The teacher also benefits from the progress test. It helps to evolve the future teaching for the following lessons. So the progress test is formative. Remember, we said that in the informal assessment video. Here, the progress test helps students to improve their learning. It's formative to form students' learning, and it helps the teacher as well to evolve the teaching style for the future lessons. However, in some schools, teachers don't give this test, a progress test. Instead, they assess students' pieces of work throughout the course. And it goes like this. In week 1, they're going to have a composition. In week 2, they're going to have a quiz. In week 3, they're going to have a kind of assignment, and so on. Then they base the final mark on the average for the work done throughout the course. At last, we got the end of the course. Students at the end of the course take a summative test. Summative test or summative assessment. Summative, by the way, means total means sum, total, okay? So it covers the whole thing. It covers what students have learned in a term or a course. In terms of grading, yes, summative assessment is graded, but without any feedback or anything to students. Well, like the academic year or the course is over by summative assessment. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a new video.